The night was unusually cold as Sarah huddled under her thick blankets. The wind howled outside her small, isolated cabin in the woods, creating an eerie symphony that seemed to seep into her bones. She tried to shake off the unease settling in her stomach and closed her eyes, attempting to find solace in the darkness. But the silence that followed the wind's torment was more unsettling than the cacophony itself. Sarah felt a strange presence, a weight in the air that made her skin prickle with anxiety. She dismissed it as her imagination running wild in the darkness, blaming the creepy stories she had heard about these woods. Suddenly, a distant creak echoed through the cabin. Sarah's eyes shot open, her senses alert. The cabin seemed to groan in protest against the invisible force surrounding it. She strained to hear, her breath catching in her throat. Another creak, this time closer, as if the wooden beams were being manipulated by unseen hands. Attempting to calm herself, Sarah whispered, "It's just the wind," but doubt lingered in her voice. She sat up, scanning the room. Moonlight filtered through the window, casting eerie shadows on the walls. Every corner seemed to harbor secrets, and the air grew thicker with each passing second. Deciding to investigate, Sarah reluctantly slipped out of bed and tiptoed across the creaky floor. The chilling silence enveloped her as she made her way through the cabin. The old wooden boards groaned under her weight, protesting her intrusion into the mystery that seemed to linger in the air. The living room held an oppressive stillness. Sarah's gaze fixated on the antique mirror hanging on the wall. Its reflection seemed distorted, showing glimpses of something lurking in the shadows behind her. A shiver crawled down her spine as she turned around, finding nothing but darkness. Compelled by an invisible force, Sarah pressed on. She reached the kitchen, where the dim light revealed a single, open cabinet. Its door creaked slowly, almost beckoning her closer. The air in the room grew colder, and her breath became visible in the eerie glow. Against her better judgment, Sarah approached the cabinet. Inside, an old, tattered photo album lay open. The pages turned by an unseen hand, revealing images of a family long forgotten. Faces distorted into twisted, contorted expressions, their eyes seemingly pleading for release from the captured moments. A whisper echoed through the room, sending shivers down Sarah's spine. "Leave this place," it urged, barely audible yet unmistakable. Panic clawed at her, urging her to escape the cabin, but an unseen force held her in place. The temperature plummeted and Sarah's breath crystallized in the air. Shadows danced menacingly on the walls, taking on grotesque shapes. The cabin seemed to breathe, a living entity with a dark secret. Terrified, Sarah stumbled backward, her heart pounding in her ears. The walls seemed to close in as the unseen force tightened its grip. She fumbled for the doorknob, desperation clawing at her as she fought to escape the nightmare. Just as her trembling hand touched the doorknob, a cold gust of wind slammed the door shut. The room plunged into darkness, and the oppressive silence shattered with a guttural growl that seemed to come from the very walls themselves. Something unseen brushed against her, sending a wave of dread through her entire being. In the pitch-black darkness, Sarah's terrified scream pierced the air, swallowed by the malevolent force that had awakened within the cabin. The wind outside howled in harmony with her fear, and the woods whispered the haunting tale of a place where the boundaries between the living and the dead blurred into an eternal nightmare. Thank you for experiencing that spine-chilling tale with me. If you enjoyed the thrill of the story and want to immerse yourself in more captivating content, I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you'll be alerted every time I release a new video.